The framing of this video is just objectively terrible. The lighting, terrible. My face, terrible. So we're getting off to a really good start. Um, but yes, welcome to Poetic Arson, the newly minted channel that is going to be so unique in the space because I'm going to be looking at books that I've been reading, movies that I've been watching, music that I've been listening to, who knows what else. And I mean, we all know that there's such a dearth of channels that do that very thing. So, I'm just glad to be, I don't know, a source of originality in the space. Um, but no, I understand that time is valuable, and I understand that attention is the resource that we're all so concerned with these days, both how we spend it um, and how we get it from others. And so this is me putting out some content in the hopes that maybe someone somewhere will find it enjoyable to listen to and interact with, and maybe, just maybe, I can, I don't know, build a little audience of like-minded people that want to talk about good books, good movies, and good music, and a variety of other things, like I said. So, yeah, if that sounds at all interesting to you, then please do check out future videos that I put out. I have no idea what type of regularity these videos will be put out with. This is going to be absolutely a hobby, although a hobby that I theoretically could dedicate a lot of time to, given my current working status and things like that. But I'm under no illusions about where this may or may not go. And I imagine I'm going to be talking to myself for a long period of time. But hey, this can, at the very least, for me, be some sort of video diary, I guess, that I can look back on, see some of the ways that I was thinking about art, thinking about the things that I experienced, thinking about how you articulate thought, which is kind of meta, I guess, if you think about it. But yeah, so figured I'd just put up a little channel introduction, kind of saying what it is that we might be covering and maybe even go into a little bit more detail. But I should introduce myself. My name is Thomas, and currently chilling out here in rural Missouri, which, offers me plenty of time to let my mind wander with the dearth of activities that there are to do here and kind of lack of any sort of artistic sector or anything like that. So that was kind of partly a motivation for starting something like this, is just a result of locality. I can't exactly go down to the I don't know, book spot or something and meet people because that doesn't exist. Yeah, and another reason I really wanted to start this is because I feel like I'm at a point in my journey, which is so corny, but journey with various forms of art. I'm kind of at the beginning. I've not been very committed to any one thing for most of my life. I've been sort of a dilettante pretty much with everything that I do. Sort of not even a jack of all trades, but I joked one time that I was more like a 9 of hearts or a 9 of diamonds of all trades. I have a lot of wide and varied interests, but I never have really drilled down and looked at something more closely. And so that's kind of what this is the hope of looking at things more closely, breaking them down, whether it be a movie, whether it be a book, whether it be an album, something like that, and developing my ability to articulate what it is that I find compelling in these things, or what I don't find compelling, what doesn't work for me, and not only developing those tastes, but then developing the articulation of those tastes and the ability to communicate that with other people. Because I think that that's really important, not only knowing what you think, which is a whole battle in and of itself, but also knowing how to communicate what you think to other people. And what's nice is if you can start that with something like a book or a movie or a piece of music, if you can start it there in a more low stakes, low pressure environment where it's not necessarily that important that you be able to do it, then hopefully you're able to be more articulate in all aspects of your life, right? Because you're practicing it in one area, and that develops you just as a person. And then as a person, you can go out and you can talk about things that you find even more important, even more urgent. And I think that the process of thinking is a worthwhile endeavor. And even though I often find myself unable to say exactly what I mean and say exactly what I want to say, right? I'll have thoughts and then find that I can't give them words. I'm sure that you guys and gals know what that feels like. I just want to put this out here in the hopes that that will develop in time, and also hopefully bring people along in that process who maybe also feel that same way. And I'm also just curious to hear what everyone else thinks about the things that I talk about, right? Like whether that's finally watching The Godfather or reading, a vintage science fiction book from the 60s, or talking about finally listening to, I don't know, some Stevie Wonder. I don't know, any number of things. I hope that can create a space for people to like share their thoughts on those things, and through that for me to also develop my own thoughts. So yeah, like I said, I don't really know where this will go, and I don't really know what type of regularity I'll be putting videos out or anything like that, but I do know that I have a lot of time on my hands and I need to find creative outlets for the things I'm thinking through and the mental processes that don't really know what to do with themselves. So yeah, like I said, welcome to Poetic Arson, and enjoy the ride. I'll try to.